The Porsche 930 Turbo looked like a beautiful sports car that simply wanted to be admired. But behind that elegant shape was a machine so powerful and unpredictable that it earned one of the most feared nicknames in automotive history: the Widowmaker. Porsche built fewer than 30,000 examples of the 930 Turbo during its entire production run. Yet decades later it remains one of the most legendary performance cars ever created. But what made this Porsche so dangerous, so revolutionary, and so unforgettable? Today, we uncover the hidden stories behind the car that changed the meaning of a supercar forever. In the early 1970s, Porsche was already famous for the 911, a sports car loved for its unique rear-engine layout and incredible handling. But Porsche engineers were looking for something more. They wanted to bring racing technology from the track into a road car, and their biggest inspiration came from the company's experience with turbocharging in motorsport. The result was the Porsche 930 Turbo, introduced in 1975 as the first production turbocharged Porsche 911. At first glance, it looked like a wider, more aggressive version of the standard 911. It had the famous whale-tail rear spoiler, wider fenders, and a powerful presence that made people stop and stare. But the real revolution was hidden behind the rear wheels. The first surprising fact about the 930 Turbo is that it was never designed to be an easy car. It was created during a time when Porsche was experimenting with technology that most road cars had never seen before. The turbocharger gave the small six-cylinder engine incredible power, but it also created a completely different driving experience. The original 930 Turbo arrived with a 3.0-liter flat-six engine producing around 260 horsepower. Today, those numbers may not sound shocking, but in 1975, they were extraordinary. The car could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 5 seconds, making it one of the fastest production cars in the world. But here is the surprising part. The turbocharger did not deliver power smoothly like modern performance cars. There was a noticeable delay before the turbocharger reached full boost. Drivers had to understand the car's personality. If you pushed too hard into a corner and suddenly lifted the throttle, the rear engine weight could quickly change the balance of the car. This was not a mistake. It was the result of Porsche pushing technology beyond what many drivers were prepared for. The 930 Turbo demanded respect. It rewarded skilled drivers but punished careless ones. That combination of beauty, speed, and danger created a legend that still fascinates enthusiasts today. But the story of the 930 Turbo becomes even more interesting when you discover why Porsche made it in the first place. The second surprising fact is that this road car was born because of racing regulations. During the 1970s, motorsport organizations created rules that required manufacturers to build production versions of their racing machines. Porsche wanted to compete in international racing, especially in the famous Group 4 category. To qualify, the company needed a road-going version of its turbocharged race technology. Instead of creating a completely separate model, Porsche took the proven 911 platform and transformed it into something extraordinary. The 930 Turbo became the bridge between Porsche's racing world and everyday roads. Imagine seeing this car arrive in 1975. At a time when many sports cars still relied on naturally aspirated engines, Porsche introduced a turbocharged machine that felt like it belonged on a racetrack. It brought racing technology into the hands of ordinary customers. What most people never realized was that buying a 930 Turbo meant owning a piece of Porsche's competition history. Every drive connected the owner to the same engineering philosophy that Porsche used on the track. The third secret behind the 930 Turbo was its famous whale-tail spoiler, a design feature that became one of the most recognizable shapes in automotive history. Many people believed the large rear spoiler was simply there to make the car look more aggressive. But the truth was much more practical. Because of the rear engine layout and the enormous power sent to the rear wheels, Porsche needed extra stability at high speeds. The whale tail helped create downforce, pushing the rear of the car onto the road. This improved traction and gave drivers more confidence when pushing the car hard. But here is where the story gets interesting. The spoiler became more than just an engineering solution. It became a symbol. When people saw a 911 Turbo approaching, that large rear wing immediately announced that something special was coming. It represented wealth, performance, and a rebellious attitude. During the late 1970s and 1980s, the 930 Turbo became a dream car for enthusiasts around the world. It appeared in magazines, movies, and posters on bedroom walls. The fourth surprising fact is that the 930 Turbo almost disappeared before becoming a legend. When Porsche first introduced the car, production was limited because of strict emissions regulations and concerns about the turbocharged engine's future. The company originally planned the Turbo as a limited model. However, customer demand was much stronger than expected. Buyers loved the combination of luxury, racing technology, and extreme performance. Porsche realized it had created something special. In 1978, Porsche increased the engine size from 3.0 liters to 3.3 liters. This upgrade increased power to around 300 horsepower and improved performance. The larger engine also added an intercooler, which helped make the turbo system more efficient. This change transformed the 930 Turbo into an even more capable machine. It was still demanding, but it became faster and more refined. Once you know this, you cannot unsee the importance of the 930 Turbo. It was not just another Porsche model. It was the car that helped create the modern idea of a high-performance turbocharged road car. The fifth fact is that the 930 Turbo became a cultural icon far beyond the automotive world. During the 1980s, the car represented success and excitement. It was the kind of vehicle people dreamed about. Its wide body, aggressive stance, and incredible performance made it instantly recognizable. But the 930 Turbo was different from many luxury cars of the era. It was not just about showing status. It had a personality. It felt alive. It required the driver to participate. There were no computer systems controlling every movement. No advanced electronic safety nets. The connection between driver and machine was direct. For many enthusiasts, this was the golden era of Porsche. A time when driving was about skill, concentration, and emotion. The sixth surprising fact is that the 930 Turbo's reputation actually helped create its legend. The nickname Widowmaker became famous because of the car's challenging nature. Some people saw it as a warning. Others saw it as a badge of honor. The truth is more complicated. The car was not dangerous simply because it was poorly designed. In fact, Porsche engineered it carefully. The challenge came because it offered supercar performance in a package that demanded experience. A talented driver could make the 930 Turbo perform beautifully. But someone who underestimated it could quickly find themselves in trouble. That raw personality is exactly why collectors love it today. Modern cars may be faster, but few provide the same feeling of respect between human and machine. The seventh and final secret is that the Porsche 930 Turbo changed the future of performance cars forever. Before the 930 Turbo, turbocharging was often seen as a technology mainly for racing or experimentation. Porsche proved that turbocharging could create an incredible road car. The success of the 930 influenced generations of Porsche models that followed. It helped establish the Turbo name as one of the most respected badges in the automotive world. Every modern Porsche Turbo carries a connection to this original idea. The concept started here, a powerful engine, advanced technology, and a driving experience that demanded passion. Nearly 5 decades later, the Porsche 930 Turbo remains one of the most emotional cars ever built. It was not perfect. It was not easy. And that was exactly the point. It represented an era when cars had personalities. when drivers had to learn the machine instead of letting computers do everything for them. The 930 Turbo was beautiful, intimidating, and unforgettable. It changed how people viewed performance cars. It showed the world that a road car could combine luxury, racing technology, and extreme excitement into one unforgettable package. Did you ever see a Porsche 930 Turbo in person? Or maybe you were lucky enough to drive one. Share your memory in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through automotive history, share it with someone who still remembers when cars had a soul.